So are we back on the branch?
We can be. We can be. Welcome back to On the Branch. Now that Jamie has a direction for what she wants to do and where to go. Right, Jamie?
What?
Exactly. So, you had mentioned something just when the episode cut about cut content.
Cut content, yes. We were talking about how some of the buildings are different colored on the maps and how maybe at some point you were supposed to go into that building and then they removed the contents. And yeah, we don't know. But boy, there was a doozy of a cut content.
Found recently?
Yeah, so earlier today, obviously by the time you're listening to it, this news will probably be several weeks old by now. But I'm a big Soulsborne fan, as you know. Our listeners may or may not know, unless they saw the Dark Souls episode of John.
I'm pretty sure they might have gotten it from that.
Of John just playing the same level for like 20 hours and dying over and over and over again. Probably not the most.
You have to do a death counter.
Yeah, probably not the most entertaining of. That should just be in the game.
Yeah.
The death counter should just be a feature in the game.
They should. We should.
Wow. So the combo luck only goes up to 7.
Yeah, it's a
most combination lucks go up to 9.
Well,
whatever. So anyway, I'm a big Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne fan, and apparently, just like a couple weeks ago, somebody was finally able to hack all of the source code for Bloodborne, which is a PS4 exclusive. So it's a lot harder to hack the code than it is for a PC version of the game.
Because it's only PS4.
Right. So you have to be able to reverse compile, decompile the code, and all that stuff, which is a lot more complicated than just reading files on a PC. It
requires a good in-depth knowledge of the program.
Right. And so anyway, they found a bunch of cut bosses, cut levels, and more importantly, cut dialogue. And one of the pieces of cut dialogue was Father Gascoigne, who's a boss at the beginning of the game. Hey, look, it's FedEx. Get your package from FedEx. Anyway, Father Gascoigne apparently had a bit of cut dialogue in which he says something along the lines of "rest in peace," and then says "Umbasa."
Okay. Which,
if you've ever played Demon Souls, is a word that was used repeatedly by people of faith in Demon Souls. It was kind of like an amen sort of thing. So
it kind of ties those two games a bit.
Yeah, I mean, for years, people have been speculating that the Demon Souls and or Dark Souls and or Bloodborne exist in the same continuity. And the Dark Souls seems a little less likely just because of the legal issues, because, like Sony owns the rights to Demon Souls and Bloodborne, but a, third-party publisher, I want to say Namco Bandai, owns the publishing rights to the name Dark Souls.
That's frustrating.
FromSoft might legally not even be able to
basically reclaim their game.
Yeah, to make Dark Souls part of the Demon Souls and Bloodborne continuity for legal reasons. But there's nothing stopping Demon Souls and Bloodborne from existing in the same continuity because Sony owns the rights to both properties. So the fact that this word Umbasa is in there, like almost like concretely proves that at some point during development,
it was at least considered.
And it was
right.
Considered enough that they actually recorded the voice actor making the This isn't just like a text file with like cut subtitles or whatever. This was an actual dialogue file. So they actually recorded the voice actor saying this line with that word in it. Which means that was,
Jamie, you can't take drugs. Drugs are bad.
Which means it was a fair way into the game, or into the game's development, before they decided to cut that. So for at least a significant portion, if not a majority, of Dark Souls or of Bloodborne's development, even the writers and creators were thinking along the lines of this being a continuation of the world in Demon Souls.
That makes a lot of sense.
I
kind of like that.
And so the logical, the the most apparent or the most likely explanation for that would be that Bloodborne is in Demon Souls' distant future, and that and you've completed Bloodborne, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm not spoiling.
I
anything
actually
for you.
did finish.
Yeah, I remember we did some co-op together.
I didn't do any. Well, I didn't complete any DLC, but.
Oh, so you did not complete the DLC, but you completed the main game story.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
If you recall from our multiplayer session.
Yeah.
Where you were like, "Hey, come check out this guy," and I just see a guy sitting there, and I just started attacking him.
Oh yeah. Did you kill an NPC?
Yeah, I pissed him off, and then he started attacking me.
Safe then?
Jamie, it's exposition. It's world building stuff. There's a drug cartel. That's it. It's an exposition dump in the form of finding stuff.
Look, it's the drugs.
Yes. Right. So anyway,
why is the phone cord all the way dragged?
So anyway, Demon Souls and Bloodborne. So my guess would be that what happened is the old one from Demon Souls. I don't think you ever played Demon Souls though, right?
I seen a little bit of it, but
so Demon Souls has like this big bad final boss thing is like kind of sort of almost Lovecraftian, like old one kind of thing. It's like this giant overgrown clump of earth that's alive. Like it's got like trees growing out of it and stuff like that.
Kind of like Shadow of the Colossus, sort of like.
Yeah. If you kind of imagine like a Cthulhu monster, like that, made a baby with a Shadow of the Colossus creature. It's something along there. And
drug bust.
Ever the Pun Master.
And so
guess I'll try an ABC burger again.
So I would guess that the old one from Demon Souls is probably a great old one in Bloodborne. And that Bloodborne probably takes place after the ending in which you lure the old one back to slumber, which takes away humanity's ability to channel the soul arts, which is magic.
Right.
So humanity loses access to magic and miracles because this old one was the source of all that stuff. So I would guess that what's probably going on in the game is that the Chalice dungeons are probably the ruins of Boletaria from Demon Souls.
That's just the whole world.
Yeah, that was like the world, the big kingdom that Demon Souls took place in. And so the city of Yharnam was built on top of the ruins of Boletaria. And that might explain why if you go into the Chalice dungeons, you can actually find there's Demon Souls armor and stuff like that, sitting in the dungeons just as decorations. You can't pick it up or use any of it, but you can find it there. And that had always fueled speculations that the games were connected, but most people dismissed it as just FromSoft using a prop they had access to. It's like in the second Predator movie, you find a skull from a xenomorph from Alien.
Yeah.
And it wasn't intended that connected the two universes. It was just, it was made by the same studio, and they just took a prop from another movie.
Egg.
Right, and put it in there as an Easter egg,
Well, wait.
I mean, Terminator uses the same drop ships that are used in Aliens. But
nor the lighthouse.
Nobody except for the most ridiculously crazy conspiracy theorists are claiming that Alien takes place in the same fictional universe as Terminator.
I mean, they could.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Some crazy alternate universe kind of stuff.
Right, but so anyway, what probably happened between Demon Souls and Bloodborne is that since humanity lost access to the soul arts, when they found the remains of Boletaria and they found the Great Ones slumbering in the Chalice dungeons, they started the practice of blood ministration in the hopes of trying to get, the soul arts back. They probably thought that by taking the blood of the old ones and infusing it into people, that, they might be able to channel magic and miracles again. And what happened instead is it started turning people into monsters. Go figure.
Who would have thought?
That seems to be what FromSoft might have been going for as well. And this piece of cut content, pretty much like cements that, not necessarily as the truth, but as at the very least it's now a much more credible.
It's much more credible possibility.
I mean, FromSoft also could have explicitly cut that line of dialogue because they didn't want to create that connection, right? So it could in fact be the exact opposite.
Or they just didn't want as concrete a connection.
Right.
They only wanted it to be subtle and like, is it or is it not? Because they weren't sure if, maybe 3-4 years down the line we're going to make... Did they ever make a Demon Souls 2?
No. Although now, with this revelation, suddenly that Shadows Die Twice teaser that FromSoft released, I think, last month, is a lot more interesting. Because that could hypothetically now tie into this whole thing, too. Because that's going to be a Sony exclusive. Mm-hmm. And, most people seem to be suspecting that it's probably going to be a reboot or sequel or remake of Tenchu. But now... I mean, who knows? Maybe it could be Demon Souls 2. It could be Bloodborne. It could be Demon Souls 3/Bloodborne 2.
Yeah, for all we know.
For all we know. So that will definitely be a lot more interesting to follow over the rest of this year now.
Okay.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with Silent Hill. Other than from my anecdotal experience, I have found that there seems to be quite a deal of overlap between people who like Silent Hill and people who like the Souls games. Mm-hmm. I can probably think of like half a dozen reasons in my head why that might be. Probably just because of the way that both games do world building. Demon Souls in particular, like when it first came out, like actually did have a little bit of a survival horror feel to it, especially, playing through the Tower of Latria level. And Bloodborne, like for sure, feels like a genuine horror game.
Mm-hmm. Just as it progresses, it keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah. And Silent Hill has, it's more like Stephen King and stuff like that, but there's, you could make some Lovecraftian comparisons with Silent Hill as well, just in terms of like there being forces at work that you can't quite understand and stuff like that. So I can definitely, Jamie, did you explore everything?
I have no idea. Because there was nothing in the Indian Runner that I could get in. I couldn't get into ABC Burger. There was nothing left in the bar that I could find. Other than the motel, which has that key that I can't get to. Like, I have no idea how to get to that stupid key.
Then you are... And there's nothing in your inventory.
So I was going to explore these
No, it's not over there. I guarantee you it's not over there. So if you want to get that key, it's somewhere in this area. Either in Annie's bar or the Indian Runner or in the inn.
Wonder if it's on that pier thing that I'm...
Unlikely.
Nope, not fucking with it. Just go... Just ignoring it. Fucking...
I'm trying to remember what the heck it is that you're supposed to find that...
Nope.
Are you trying to look it up on your phone?
I was looking it up, and I think it's something that she missed in Indian Runner, because if that makes any sense to you.
I think that's just the receipt.
No, there's a thing at the bottom. If you can remember what that's for.
That's in the Indian Runner?
It says in the Indian Runner, yeah. And I'll put it up too. I'll just take a screenshot of that.
The Indian Runner? No.
Almost.
Then how do... Okay, I didn't see...
Jamie, go back into Indian Runner real quick.
Yeah, to try to save some time for you and for...
Everything.
For all of our viewers. It seems like we missed something in the Indian Runner, even though you went in there twice and we didn't see it.
Like, I tried grabbing the damn telephone cord.
It's not something that you grab. It's not something that you pick up. There's a clue in here that you missed. Or a set of clues that you were supposed to put together.
It's probably behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I see it there.
Yeah, she actually looked at it. I just don't think she paid it close enough attention.
Well, I don't think she actually read it, because she saw the picture, and she read
August
that.
20. Handed over the package left by the woman here. 12.
Yeah, I don't remember
Showed
her.
up in Norman's 2. But get creeped out more than before. Leave town, but afraid of what I'm good. Okay.
Oh, there it is. It's pinned up next to the picture. So she's got to look at that and look at the picture.
3 loaves of bread. 3 cartons of milk. 332. Delivered to back door daily at 8 a.m. 0886. Norman Young. 332. 8 a.m.
0886.
0886.
And then look at the picture. And you see it's the grand opening of the motel and the name Norman. So it's Norman's Hotel. So the clues are supposed to be telling her to go to the back door of the hotel.
Yes.
And oh, by the way, there's drugs here too.
There's drugs everywhere.
Everybody loves drugs.
3 loaves of bread. Oh!
Oh?
That's what the drugs are. It's code for drugs.
That's code for drugs?
Yeah, 3 loaves of bread, 3 cartons of milk, 2 dozen eggs.
Or at least the ingredients for making a drug.
Or, yeah,
Or a
that
really,
too.
really weird sandwich.
Like, it seems unlikely that they would, like, have 3 different code words for the same drug. So probably 3 different components and somebody's cooking them.
Cooking.
Cooking in quotes.
Making some,
0886, okay.
some French toast.
Okay.
I mean, milk, eggs, bread. That's French toast.
Do you know where you're going now, Jamie?
I gotta go to the motel.
The motel.
Just gotta go to the back door, Gatey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was the whole big thing that we missed. And then this will lead us into everything that we need.
Spot.
Yeah, that's,
So we're on to where we
she's
need.
fine. There's like one thing for her to do, and then
I was just like reading into it a little bit. I was like, oh,
Right.
okay, yeah, so that's that, that's that.
and then she pretty much guarantees that she gets the good ending.
Probably.
I mean, I feel kind of bad having stopped her and told her to go back, because the point was to let her play and see if she figures it out all on her own. But like, I knew she was missing something,
Edges.
and she was trying to be a completionist.
yeah.
So, just wanted to throw her a little bone. So she can go wander around South Park and have herself a
I
time.
think that's the diner. Does this gate open? I wonder.
Probably not.
No, it does not. And I forget if this door opens.
Nope.
Okay, that is.
Well, I mean, if all to be said and fair and all that, she almost already missed the one thing, so...
Yeah, well, she's got yeah, well, that's true. But I was more interested in whether or
Where
not
is
she
the
figures out how to use it than whether or not she figures
Well,
out
yeah.
how to get it.
But I think to be fair on like, all on her own, probably would have gotten the badder ending first shot.
No, and that's one of the hang-ups, too, is whether or not people would even pick up the red liquid,
Yeah.
let alone figure out how to use it. But there's enough clues spread around that it's, well, I don't think everybody should be expected to pick it up. Like,
A certain percentage.
yeah, it's not a huge, like, leap.
I think the whole thing with the red liquid is you're led to pick it up because of, how do I say this? Every single time you need to, like, open a locked door or something, you have to use the item. So, you see this liquid on the ground, you have to say to yourself, oh, well, I need to have an item to pick this up. So, what item could I have in my inventory to pick up this liquid?
Right.
And then you look and say, bottle.
Right, but that's assuming you've already picked up the bottle. And if you didn't pick up the bottle and you don't go back into that room, then you hit a point of no return.
But, yeah, true. But if you're being, completionist thorough, if you hadn't been in that,
Where's the
you're
bathroom?
Right.
probably thinking, okay, well, I'll probably pick up a thing here,
And
finish exploring the floor,
Yeah.
and then find it.
And that's the biggest hang-up, is that both of these things, the picking up the red liquid and completing this quest, are both right before a point of no return.
True.
So if you don't get it at the time where it's available, you miss it, and you can't go back
I
and
think
do it.
that feels like it's a bit unintentional, you know? Like,
No, I think that's. I mean, I think that was intended. They want you to figure this out, you know.
yeah,
at
but I
the
mean, I don't think
time,
they
but
meant it to be that close to a point of no return.
maybe not. You know, it's always hard to tell the developer's
Which door
intent
is
with
the
things
back
like that.
door?
Well, probably not the hotel room doors. Probably more like an office door, Jamie.
I tried both the office doors. One
Okay,
said
well,
jammed,
those are-
and the other didn't give me an option.
Well, you're on the front doors. Maybe try a back
Yeah,
door.
it said the
It said
thing.
delivery in rear.
The note said to go to the back door,
Okay.
Back door deliveries
so you
only,
probably have to
Jamie.
go around the building.
To the left.
Try that door, just to find it, just to make sure. Or don't.
Make sure to wildly fling the camera.
And then get disoriented so you don't know where you are. That is annoying. That is a frustrating feature of the game's camera, where like it doesn't even show the. You can put it in positions where it doesn't even show the character. That was mostly fixed in the sequels, though, fortunately.
Hey, look, a keypad.
0886.
Enter. Hooray.
Are we gonna find more drugs?
Maybe.
Drugs.
Hey, a radio.
Delicious drugs.
Hey, a poster. Hey, a magnet. Look at it later.
Yes, later.
See, I wonder what else is on here. Installed. PTV? Is that supposed to be like the drug or whatever?
Yep.
Huh.
Clearly that radio will be of use. It looks completely out of place.
I was trying to get the pack of cigarettes or whatever that is.
No,
It's
can't
clearly
pick that up.
nothing.
And it actually is a magnet that she uses to get that little key.
Hooray!
Not tongs. You get tongs to pick up a key in Silent Hill 3.
September 10. Took the badge, told to sit on it a while. Don't want to get involved, but can't disobey. It's probably linked to the deaths of the mayors and the others. Okay. Let's see if this bathroom has a toilet, yeah?
I mean,
Somebody, somewhere in this town has to have a damn toilet.
Oh, thank God, a save point.
hooray.
Yeah, the first game is very generous with
Ow,
save point
ow,
locations.
ear,
Actually, I think
ear.
all of the original games, except for Silent Hill 4, are very generous with save
Ow,
point
ow,
locations.
ow, ow.
Well, next time on the branch, we can do some more stuff.